Hello, my name is Scott for SB Gaming and welcome to Cossacks 3. This is a game provided to me by GSC Game World, the developers of the Cossacks franchise. They're also known for the Stalker series of games, which I've not played, I've heard about. But other than that, this series goes back to the early 2000s with Cossacks European Wars. And now we're in the third installation, which, from what I understand, goes back to its roots. But I did briefly play the game, just a little bit, get a feel for how everything goes. And in many ways, even though it was released back on September 20th, it feels like it was designed in the early to mid 2000s. That was my first thoughts about it. Graphically, it's supposed to be a 3D isometric game. The camera is at a fixed angle. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. You cannot rotate the camera, so it's not really true 3D. Beyond that, I've only played the tutorial, just get a feel for the game, and that is what I'm going to do today. So we are going to jump into campaign, I think. Yeah, we're going to go into campaign, War Ruse tutorial. When playing this campaign, you'll learn how to control your forces in your economy, as well as understand stratagems and military art. You will find out more about various methods of assault and diversionary tactics, and will be able to organize an effective defense. Naturally, you already have knowledge that will allow you to gain brilliant victories, but it can never hurt to discover new war ruses and use them to crush previously invincible enemies. We're going to select that campaign, and we have two missions, either peace or war. I did play through the peace tutorial, which I will do right now. This tutorial mission will teach you to produce and control units to build your city and collect resources to research and develop upgrades. Let's start the mission. And so here we are, my king. We are almost there. The town where you will learn the basics of rulership is near. Will arrive very soon. Let's not waste time, my friend. So basically we can zoom in, zoom out, and surprisingly you cannot use the WASD keys, and there is no way to change the controls, as you can see here. There are no hotkeys. You have to use the arrow keys. Yep, it's pretty much arrow keys and mouse click and point. So yeah, what's about that? So we can click on our guy, and we can right click to move him, and we can also set a formation, have him go in a different facing, and we're supposed to face this guy who's a merchant. It's basically a click and drag to select everything within range, although you can't select these guys. And can I click on him to have him just auto follow? Nope. So you have to keep clicking. Alright about that. Good day, your majesty. We're to escort you to our fine little town. A king needs a proper retinue, and we are honored to serve as such. Thank you, my children. Follow me. Alright, well, we can grab him. And now we can, of course, set a formation. And they kind of move around. Okay, they don't keep their positions. Alright, about that. Yeah, let's just keep clicking. Follow the advisor. In other games, you could just right click on the guy and, yeah. He just follow. So now, what do we got here? Are you going to tell us something? And I'm assuming we have to come here into this circle. Dialogues often give you important information. Some dialogues have multiple responses to choose from, leading to different consequences. Greetings, your majesty. I am honored to welcome you to my domain. What are you looking at? Never mind that nothing is produced here. These lazy clowns couldn't be forced to work if salvation of their souls has depended upon it. Not like this land offers anything to be produced in the first place. You can't harvest snow in winter here. What about the garrison? They are all soldiers, all right. They can't march in line, so what? They know how to hold a pike. That's enough for this backwater wilderness as far as I'm concerned. Listen not to your scheming advisors. I've got enemies everywhere. An honest man's life is never easy. I'm surprised the whole lot of you are not yet running on all fours here. My king, I apologize you saw this town in such decrepit state. Appointing this knave a governor was a dire mistake, one that needs to be fixed at once. He ought to be fired immediately. I think he is just dumb. Send this imbecile back home. Let him learn to manage his own estate, or his negligence has cost the kingdom dearly. I must make an example of him. Execute the fool. So, what do we want to choose? Send the imbecile back home, or to execute him? No, let's go easy on him. Yeah, let's just have him get exiled. Yeah, about that. And we have people. We have... I think these are the peasants. My king, we have to clean up this place now. Here comes the local peasants. They are very important. It is their job to construct buildings and harvest resources. There are 6 resources in total. They're up here. We got wood. We got... that's food, I think. We got stone, gold. Yeah. Wood, stone, food, gold, iron, and coal. You need them all to develop the town, to raise an army. How should I begin? Food is among the most important resources. You should start by building a mill and plowing a field that will supply you with provisions. Food is necessary both to produce new soldiers and peasants and to feed the existing ones. If you run out of provisions, your units will starve and die. Select a proper place to construct a mill. You need plenty of space and flat terrain for the field. I think I spotted a nice place. Right there, he's telling us. All right about that. And unfortunately, you can't yet click and drag the mouse to move around the camera. You have to use the WASD keys. All right, so... Alright, in order to construct a building, select workers. Left-click on the desired building's icon, then left-click on the map where you want the building to be constructed. Cancel, right-click, or press escape. Build a mill. So we are going to select these guys. I'm going to have them come over here. And we can build them a mill. We'll put it right there. And do we have access to those guys? Nope. And we'll just leave our guy here. Alright, so they are... What we can do is we can send these guys to do some chopping down. Great, the mill is up and the field is planted. Give the seeds some time to grow. Meanwhile, build a storehouse. It will provide storage for wood and stone extracted by your peasants. It is prudent to construct the storehouse as close as possible to forest or quarry. By the way, your food will not be stored in the storehouse. Who wants their bread to come with sand and sawdust? These make bad spices indeed. Alright, so wherever wood and stone is extracted, apparently right there. Alright, about that. So let's grab these guys. And unfortunately, when they are... You can barely see that they are selected, which is really disappointing. It would be nice if these guys would actually... You'd actually see that they're highlighted. Anyway, we are going to have... We can see that our food is ticking down. We want to have our guys... I think... How do you get these guys to... Anyway, we're going to grab these guys and build a storehouse right here. And it just takes those guys to build, so we have these guys left. And alright, so we'll wait for that to happen. Now, apparently we can have them mine those rocks. We could also have them chop down the trees here. Oh, there we go. Let's actually have some of them. Keep those guys back. We'll have those guys. Now it is time to begin producing the remaining resources: gold, iron, and coal. Without coal and iron, your firearms will turn into useless scrap metal. Mineral veins are easy to spot on the surface of rock. Please find an iron, coal, or gold deposit and order peasants to build a mine there. Very well, build the mine. Right there. Alright, with that. So we'll grab those guys, and we'll come over here, and we will build the mine for 100 wood, 100 stone, and 114 seconds. At least I think that's 114 seconds. Can be captured by the enemy. The number of peasants working at the mine can be increased with upgrades. Upgrades should be installed separately at each mine. Maximum number of peasants working at a single mine with all the upgrades is 95. And they are working on food. So you won't be able to know how much food is actually being produced, whether you have enough people working on the farms. This tells you how many people are working on food at any one time. So we have 4 people, and so they gather food, bring it here, and you can see that, yep, the number went up slightly. Now we have sufficient resources to develop the town, my king. Please send some peasants to work the fields and grow food to feed our people. Others should be ordered to fell trees and to work the quarry, providing us with wood and stone. Make sure the mine has enough workers as well, and we can start raising the garrison. Finally, peaceful labors tire me. Let's raise a company of pikemen. Alright, about that. Mine has been constructed successfully. We are going to have them... Actually, never mind. I don't think they can. There is currently 5 people working here, so we are just going to have them start chopping down trees right here. So they will go about chopping the trees down, getting us more wood. Alright, about that. They're going there. And they are getting us food. And so yeah, you won't really be able to know. I don't know if there is a ledger to see what our actual food production is. It would be nice if, based on the amount of time it takes them to grow the food, bring it here, if we are in a positive growth or negative growth. So if we pay attention to this number, 59, 8, 50-ish. If we check back later, if we have more food, then we have too many people working it. If we have less food, then yeah, we have not enough people working it. So they are working on this. This guy is chopping down trees. Alright, about that. And they... Okay. And yet we see 5 people working here. We have over 15,600 iron. And now... This is the barracks. We can click to hire someone. And so we can do it one at a time. And if we... I think it's control. Yeah, you can just keep hiring people up to this capacity. Although we don't want to do that. Alright, yeah. To produce a unit, left click on the icon the unit need. Clicking while holding shift orders 5 units. Holding control results in an infinite production cycle. Right click on. So we need 36 pikemen. We have how many so far? We have 10 pikemen. So we are going to produce 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1. and they'll just keep getting produced. Let's put them in formation. And we have another problem to solve. At the moment, your soldiers look more like a gang of outlaws. In order to turn them into a proper army, we need to combine them into regiments. They will fight much better and have a more imposing look to boot. To create a regiment, you need an officer and a drummer, along with soldiers themselves, of course. An infantry regiment can line up into 3 formations: rank, column, and square. The choice of formation depends on the task at hand. Column is best for assault. Rank formation is most suitable for firing, and square is ideal for defense, especially from enemy cavalry. Alright, let's whip them into shape. Men, hear my orders. Let's grab those guys and put them now. You can also double click to select them all. Combine troops into formation. Select an officer and left click on the formation type, then on soldier icons. Officer and drummer must be close enough to the soldiers. So these are the drummer and the officer. And we want to can't remember how I did this. Combine troops into formation. Select an officer and left click on the formation type, then on soldier icons. Where? Alright, so apparently you need to select the officer. Look very similar to the general, which I assume is your character. Yeah, very similar. Alright about that. So, in this formation you can see assume rank formation. Alright, my king, we need more dwelling space to build up our garrison. Soldiers and peasants alike need bunks to sleep on. You cannot hire new people until you can provide them with a roof above their heads. Command your workers to build some houses. All men are endowed with certain unalienable rights. Among these is shelter from wind and weather. Alright about that. So we can assume column formation. And so if we march forward, let's go to square formation for defense. And there we go. We can go back to assume rank formation. Alright about that. Now, we need to build 2 houses. So if we check, where are these guys? Housing. Now, is it going to tell us the best place to build these? Nope, doesn't really matter. Alright, well, we are going to just throw these houses, say right about here somewhere. There we go. And then we're going to build a second one right there. There is no way to pause the game. There is no way to slow or speed up time other than going into the game menu, going to settings, going to control, and selecting the game speed, either normal, fast, or very fast, which is unfortunate. It would be nice if there was up in here somewhere in order to be able to speed up or slow down time. That would be nice rather than going into the game menu. You can't apparently hit the escape key in order to go into the game menu. You have to actually click on the game menu. So you have it that. Let's click on that, get that one built. Get our 2 houses built. And we're up to 60 of 280. My king, sometimes you'll be unable to produce some resource or another. You'll need to access the market to trade it for other resources. Market prices are not set in stone. The more you sell a particular resource, the lower its price drops. Alas, the hucksters have no patriotic feelings. Alright, so yeah, the more you sell a particular resource, the lower its price drops. Alright, about that. You can trade resources on the market. And the market is here. So we can see... Well, this hamlet is in good order now, but I fear it hits the limits of its development. Hinterland lacks resources it needs to expand into a large city. We can keep exploiting it, sure, but we should consider looking for resources elsewhere. On the other side of the river, for example. Command the workers to construct a shipyard. Once it is complete, order some fishing boats. The shipyard has to be constructed by the water, of course. Bring more planks. And that is where it's suggesting. This is a river. Alright, about that. Now, the water doesn't look too bad, although... Yeah, about that. Anyway, we are going to need our workers, which are right over here. We're going to send them over there. We are going to build a shipyard. So we're going to build it right about... Apparently, if they are standing... Right there. You can see the progress down here. I kind of like the UI is very minimal. You have your resources up here. Although, I wouldn't mind if this stuff was actually down here. And as I said, a game speed option. The speed up or slow it down. Alright, what do we have here in the storehouse? Nothing, it's just a storehouse. 59,000 food. So it looks like we are producing just enough food with 4 people. That is good. And this is up to 35,000 points. Alright, about that. One thing I do know is that eventually they'll want us to send the troops, send them into column formation, and march them over there. Now, select all idle peasants. You can actually see how many idle peasants you have. Up here you can see all the idle peasants as well. And that would be these guys over here, because that is complete. Fishing boats harvest food. My king, we have to scrap the bottom of this poor land. Order to expand the network of passages and railroads inside the mines. With this done, the mines could accommodate more workers, increasing its output. Good idea. Alright, so in here, we see enlarge mines and build extensive railroad networks for them. +5. We should improve our food production intensively. Instead of plowing new lands, we can boost the output of existing fields. We will need new agricultural equipment from our blacksmith and improvements of the mill. What are we waiting for? Let's bleed this field dry. Alright, so we can, I assume, spend 1,000 food and 1,250 gold. This is our gold. Yep. Alright, so we're going to do that upgrade. And now, in here, we can improve grain crops treatment. Harvesting plus 140%. Costs 750 food. And 250 gold. Might as well do it. Grain crops, gold 5, time 2. Alright, about that. Now that we have boosted our economy and stocked up resources, we can begin a reform of our army. To make out the most from our men, we need to train and drill them. Brave and skillful soldiers fight better and scatter numerous yet untrained mobs with ease. It is better to maintain a small but professional standing army than a horde of green recruits. As Romans used to say, men become brave through training and force of discipline. Indeed, the professional soldiers of Rome crushed many a horde of barbarian militiamen. Research available upgrades. So in here, pikemen, we can purchase more. Conduct a fencing drill. Cold steel weapon attack +1. And we're not going to be able to do this one, physical training defense, until that is done. Now, select all uncopied mines. My king, disaster struck. There's a fire in the smithy. Send peasants to douse the flames before it burns to the ground, lest we have to build a new one. Yes, yes, hurry. Let's grab the idle peasants and send them over to repair this. There they come. Now we should be able to... somewhere. There is a building that we have. Only used for fishing, cannot take part in battles. Well, let's build a couple boats. Like I said before, my king, this land is poor and we need a better place for a proper city. Let's scout on the other side of the river. To cross this obstacle, we will need a ferry, and our shipyard is capable of producing it. Order the shipwright to lay the keel. Alright, well, I'm going to cancel one of those fishing boats. We are going to build the ferry. And it looks like they are done that. We are going to grab that, and we're just going to keep chopping down some trees. We'll just send them over there. We still have lots of iron coming in, and we have a lot of food, apparently. 187,000 food. Alright about that. Now I'm pretty sure blacksmith. Manufacture agricultural equipment. Field capacity plus 100%. Let's build that. And conduct a fencing drill. We'll do that one as well. Oh. Alright about that. You can specify the rally point. Nice. So if we need to, we'll specify the rally point up there. I have a feeling, yeah, they're going all the way over there for the storehouse. Let's grab a couple of these guys, and we are going to build another storehouse. Right around here. My king, our ferry is ready for her maiden voyage. Use it to transport peasants and soldiers on the other side of the river. Send them out to look for a good place to build a city, one rich with resource deposits. When you have found one, order to build a town center. It will serve as the heart of the city, providing us with housing to recruit more peasants and with storage for resources collected by our workers. Quest for the new land, this is so exciting. Let's head there at once. Alright about that. And apparently, we've hit the population limit. Really? Alright, so this is our ferry, which we can right click to have it move somewhere. We'll just have it come to land. And we want to how do you do this? To load units on the ferry. Yeah, read these. If you don't know what to do, read these. Select the ferry and right-click at the shore. The ferry will lower its ramp. Upon arrival, select the units you need and right-click on the ferry to order them to embark. To unload units, order the ferry to the shore. Once it lowers its ramp, left-click or right-click on the unit icon. Hold Control. Alright, do we have to... There we go. Alright. Let's have them head in. And they will load up the ferry. We have a maximum of 80 people we can transport. And we have 38 total. Alright, what I would like to do is... Oh, really? I guess they will be going with us. And they're going aboard. Alright, we have 11 peasants. So now, want to head off over to here. I'd like to land right about here. At this point, though, I will end this tutorial episode here. And in the next episode, we will continue off with the rest of the tutorial. Anyway, thank you for joining me for this episode of Cossacks 3. Thank you for watching. My name is Scott for SB Gaming. And as always, have a good day.